Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are going to be doing another unboxing. This unboxing is going to be a 1-200 model, and this is the Gemini200 version of the British Airways Concorde in the Chatham Dockyard livery. This is Golf Bravo Oscar Alpha Bravo. This is the same registration as the one we recently got in 1-400 scale as well, and I can't wait to unbox this thing. I am thinking, and I've said this before in the past, I'm thinking of doing a 1-200 collection video, and I'm thinking of uploading that on Sunday. So I do currently have a lot of 1-200 models in the mail right now, and I was originally going to try and get one out before I started to receive a lot of them, the first one being this one of course, but this one arrived and I just had that revelation I haven't actually done one yet, so I think I'm going to include this one in the 1-200 collection video, and then that will go up on Sunday with this one included, and then after Sunday we'll have another 1-400 unboxing next Tuesday, and then after that we'll have a couple 1-200 unboxings after that. I know it's been a little while without unboxings, but Murphy's Law, when you start to get one, you get another one and another one and another one, and at the moment I have 4 weeks of unboxing videos backed up now, considering we just had 2 weeks without unboxings. It's just how it goes really. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and unbox this amazing aircraft. Those of you who remember, I do in fact have an in-flight 200 version of the Negus livery Concorde, but no mold comes close to the Gemini200 version of the Concorde. This model is insane, and of course we'll have a look at it when we get out of the box, but let's just go over the box first of all. It's a very classic Gemini200 box. We've got the black and the gold, which make a really nice design of box. It looks very premium, and then on the front here we've got the British Airways banner in the Chatham Dockyard livery of course. Then down here we have the clip art of the aircraft looking very nice. Down here we have the name of the aircraft, of course the Concorde 1-200 scale die-cast model aircraft. Then down here we have the item number. On the rear of the aircraft we have of course all the regular propaganda. We have the Gemini200 logo, as real as it gets. That's one statement that does hold up with this model, and then all of the other details. And then on the side of course we've got the same stuff on the side. We've got the clip art of the aircraft, the Gemini200 logo, Concorde thing on there, then we just got regular stuff on the side. And this is one of the 1-200 models which does have a flap. It's velcroed here, that nice velcro sound, and then here on the lid of the flap you can see that we've got a little bit of info about the Concorde. And then of course by lifting up the box you can see the model sitting inside there. And we've got the side of the box here, of course we've got that pull tab on the side. Can pull that out like that, and then we've got the side of the box that just slips out like that, and then we have the polystyrene. And it's not just all polystyrene with this one. Like most 1-200 models, we have polystyrene on the bottom and then the plastic on the top. Ironically, this is the same kind of configuration that NG use with packing some of their models, like the larger ones like the A330s, 787s, all of those kind of aircraft. And we can now go ahead and slide out the polystyrene, and here we have the cradle containing the model. Oh man, I'm so excited for this. Unboxing model aircraft is just one of those small little joys in life that just keeps you happy, you know? Okay, and there we go. I've tried to get it out of the sunlight here, so we've got a nice clear view of the box, and we're going to take the plastic top off of the box here. Got some instructions. That's a very new feature to Gemini jets. So here we have, this is the instructions. It's less of an instruction manual and just kind of like showing you some warning things. So it appears just by looking at this that you can actually move the thrust reversers into like reversing position. That's so cool. I know this model has some moving features which I will get onto later, but I did not know about this thrust reversing feature. This is, oh man, I'm so glad I got this model. As you can see here inside the box, we've got the stand here. This is just your regular 1-200 scale stand. It's nothing special to the other 1-200 models that you get. And then inside here, I'm trying to get the best angle possible, but we have the model inside here, and then we have all of these little pieces. So here we have, of course, the landing gear inside here. We then have another thing here with little features, the cockpit windows, some little pieces. These are the closed configuration things, I think. And the cockpit piece is actually going to come into handy when you put the nose in a drooped position. And then here we have the model. So we've got the plastic on the top, and man, this is This is probably going to be my most prized possession that I have. My most prized model, anyway. I just love the Concorde. It's one of my favorite planes, and oh man, okay, let's just go ahead and take this out of the box. I'm going to take the tail out, I think, like this. Lift that up slowly and carefully, and then lift the rest of the fuselage up, and there we have the model. Look at that. That is so detailed. Okay, and here we have those thrust reversers, and yeah, they do. Look at that. They move. That's incredible. Don't know if you can see that, but the thrust reversers do actually kind of come up like that. That's amazing. The detail on this model is incredible. The only thing we're really missing is the flaps along the rear edge of the model, but that would be very, very difficult to kind of replicate. So there we go. I don't really want to touch this too much with my fingers. I don't want to get too many like fingerprints on it, but I'm going to move the polystyrene off to the side now, and then I'm going to put it onto the stand here. Taking away the plastic, and then we can just, oh, look at the underside of that. That is beautiful. And then we can just go ahead now and put that into the stand hole there. And there we have the model. Now you can put it into different configurations. I'm going to have it in a landing configuration, so we can now go ahead and put the nose down like that. The drooped nose, as you can see there, it does go up and down. I won't touch it anymore though, in case it breaks. And then inside here, as you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but we have the nose piece, I don't really know what you call that, the cockpit windows, because the cockpit on the Concorde has two, one that kind of droops down when the cockpit is in a drooped position, and I believe that's that piece there, so I'm going to take that out. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but there we have the cockpit piece. I'm going to put that onto the model there. Okay, so here we go, we got the main landing gear going on now. The other piece here as well. There we go. Got the forward landing gear here. Fits on very nicely there. And then we have the tail strike wheel at the back here. There we go, and that is the Concorde in all of its glory. And yeah, so here we have the Concorde. As you can see, we've got it in kind of my chosen position. This is in the landing configuration right here. So of course the nose droops on landing, because of course the Concorde would land at such a high pitch rate like that the pilots, if the nose was at its cruising position, the pilots couldn't actually see the runway. So the nose needs to tilt down so the pilots can actually see the runway. I do wish that the stand kind of positioned it a little bit more steep like that, because this is more like a cruising position like that, but we'll have to see. This particular Concorde is Golf Bravo Oscar Alpha Bravo. It was built in 1976. It was the third Concorde for British Airways and the fifth that the UK built. It was built in, of course, Bristol Filton. Bristol is where all of the British Concordes were built. This aircraft in 1998 carried the English football team home from the World Cup. That was in France, however, so there wouldn't have been much need for any supersonic flights from France to the UK, but there we go. This was retired in 2000, so for those of you who don't know, 2003 was the final date of the Concorde. That's when Concorde officially was retired. However, a lot of them were retired also in 2000. So in 2000, that was the year of the Air France crash in Paris. And as a result of that, a lot of Concordes were retired, including this one, BOAB. Some of the Concordes were retrofitted to prevent that kind of accident from ever happening again. But the ones that weren't were retired. So for example, this one wasn't retrofitted after the accident, so this one was retired in 2000. And then some of the ones that were retrofitted went on to fly until 2003. When this aircraft was retired, it flew its last flight from JFK to London Heathrow. It was then stored at London Heathrow. For the longest of times, this aircraft was put on the side of runway 23. For those of you who don't know, London Heathrow had a third runway. It was known as runway 23. It wasn't really used for takeoffs or landing. It was mainly used for taxiing. And then in 2004, BAA, which is the London Heathrow Holding Group, they were bought out by a Spanish company, and the Spanish company had no interest in the heritage of either British Airways or London Heathrow, and they actually proposed to scrap this Concorde. But it was either British Airways or a third party that actually saved this Concorde. They actually had to pay BAA £3 million a year just to keep this at London Heathrow. And this Concorde has sadly been one of the more rejected ones. This is still the one at London Heathrow. If you go to London Heathrow, this is the one you'll see. It's currently sat next to runway 27 left. but this aircraft was sadly one of the rejected Concordes. It's not very well looked after even today. It's not really known why it was moved from runway 23. Part of the reason is because of course they were renovating that whole area. They actually got rid of runway 23 to make way for the new Terminal 2. And for a while this went into the BA maintenance area. They had it in around 2009 to 2010 in the old Concorde engine test bed kind of area. If you look on Google Earth around that time, you can see it sat in the kind of engine test area. And then in 2013 they moved it to its final resting place in that area next to runway 27 left. But what's really sad is, although it seems like it's all propped up and all kind of like praised and everything like that, if you look at it on Google Earth, it's literally just sat in an old car park. That's all it is. It's just in an old car park. And this Concorde is just sadly one of those Concordes that's been rejected. When they were moving it in 2013, a photographer went on board this aircraft to take a photo on board this aircraft, and it's not in a very good condition. There's literally just boxes piled everywhere. The plane on the inside is just falling to bits. And it's just, I don't think you should be able to treat a Concorde that way. This is one of only 20 supersonic passenger aircraft that were ever built. I feel like every Concorde should be preserved, and I'm hoping that someday in the future London Heathrow will open either some sort of museum or just put it into a better kind of place, whether that be, you know, London Heathrow putting the money towards this aircraft to put it into a better position, or a third party person coming to buy this aircraft to then, you know, put it into a much better position. One idea that I had is, of course, Terminal 6, the new terminal at London Heathrow. I believe it's scheduled to be opened in 2030. Of course, with coronavirus, I believe that's actually going to be delayed a little bit. But if Terminal 6 is anything like Terminal 2, when you go into Terminal 2, there's that massive open area just by the lobby where they have that weird like metal kind of statue thing, and it looks really weird. That's just one of those modern art things. But imagine if you took away that and put Concorde. I just think something like that would be much better for this Concorde. Of course, it would probably suit Terminal 5 better, with Terminal 5 being, of course, the terminal for British Airways, but I don't think there would be any space in Terminal 5 to put this aircraft. So I think that the up-and-coming Terminal 6 would be the best bet for this. But yeah, I just don't think a Concorde should be treated like that. But yeah, that does conclude this unboxing of this amazing, amazing model. I'm really, really hoping the Gemini Jets produce some more of these. Of course, there are so many other Concorde liveries that Gemini Jets could produce. You've got the Negus livery, the Landor livery, you've got the joint British Airways and Singapore livery, you've got the Air France livery, you've got the Pepsi livery, and honestly, I would probably try and get all of the 1-200 Concordes. I maybe wouldn't get some of the French ones, like the Air France Concorde, but I would probably get the Pepsi livery, which was on an Air France Concorde, just because that's a really cool livery. And as well, on top of that, it would be really cool to have some of the prototype liveries as well. I actually have, and I think you guys have seen this in some of my previous videos, but I actually have here, on my wall here, I have two pictures of both of the British prototype Concordes. This one is BSST, this is stored in Yeovilton, and this one is AXDN, this one's stored in Duxford. And originally what I was actually going to do with that wall over there is I was going to have a picture of every single British Concorde ever made. I even got the frames and everything, but I think I'm going to put a shelf up there after all, because I just need some more room for 1-200 models. So I think I'm actually going to be putting a shelf up there, and who knows, this Concorde might actually go up there in the end. But yeah, apart from that, that does conclude this unboxing of this amazing, amazing model. This is just one of the highlights of my model collection right here. But yeah, apart from that, I want to thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.